Someone just called to interrupt the video, but they can leave a message. Anyways, somebody lied. They literally said that your life story was their life story, okay? They thought that the version of them that is you in your story is, they think that you're better than them, okay? And it's kind of flattering, but at the same time they're mocking you by claiming that to be theirs. You know what I mean? It's like, tell your own story. Maybe it's because you haven't learned that lesson yet and you're continuing to feed off of others. Your story isn't honorable to you. It's not special to you because you haven't learned that lesson yet. Who the fuck is this? Like, no one comes down this cul-de-sac ever, okay? Now everybody comes down this cul-de-sac just to, like, go around the cul-de-sac. Yeah, you felt like this person has a lot of opportunity. Like it's idealism. Their idea of you and things that come to you is what they want to do. That can come to you too, but it's not going to come to you with trying to be somebody else. It's going to come to you with you being authentically you. And sitting in it and creating, okay? Creating with things that come to you, okay, in that still place of just being self and getting comfortable there. Like you're being choosy to other people's destinies, to other people's paths in life, okay? And mine is a healer, okay? I'm allowed to speak on how I got through things because I went through some things, okay? I went through abuse for a long time. I didn't love myself for a long time before I started choosing myself above anybody, okay? And that means kids, and that means partners, and that means anybody. I choose me, and that's choosing my higher power as well. So that is how I'm able to speak on that, okay? I can only speak what I've been through. If I don't know, then I say, I don't know, but this is my opinion, right? So it's like somebody just needs to start being themselves, and when they don't know, when they haven't experienced it, when they haven't yet got through it on their own, just say it. Just say that. Like, I'm not too sure. Like, I'll probably have to ask so-and-so, or maybe I'll research it. I don't know. I need to pray about that. Okay? And that shit will come to you in meditation. If that's on your mind, if that's on your back burner, it will. So it's like, it's really terrible, okay? And it's a waste of time. Because you will go on that path and you won't be able to keep that up, okay? It'll be mentally draining because it's not yours. It's a siphon of somebody else's, right? You aren't the source because you're not connected to the source. It's like, that's just not yours. It's not, what's it called when something's not attainable? Like, it's not, you can't attain it for a long time. I don't know the word. If you know the word, comment it. Long term, it's just not gonna work. Living in somebody else's path, acting as if what they've been through in life and their knowledge was your knowledge and your life experiences. It just wasn't. Okay, what happens when a situation arises and you really don't have what it takes, okay, to go through that gracefully, or not even gracefully, but get through it. You know what I mean? Like, what if God put a little bit more bravery in me? What if God put a lot more empathy within me? Okay, so that I'm able to get my point across, but then I'll also empathize and be forgiving. But also been through enough shit to know that I don't deserve that. Simultaneously in the back of my mind, I'm rejecting it, okay? And I'm sending it to God to heal it. Because that is not a match to my energy. Okay? Going through enough stuff to demand respect, to demand equal give and take, or it's not mine. Right? And like, you have to go through certain things to solidify that within you. To know it not only on the conscious, but subconsciously. So it'll only shake you. It'll only make you more faulty. It's not going to make you as sturdy as it's made this person, because that person is living in their truth. That person knows why. You know, when you're learning something, you need to kind of know why in order to have it register in your mind. Instead of just speaking something because you've heard it. It's like you don't have those core lessons because it wasn't yours. It's like you need to be able to now listen to your own intuition in your own life, okay? It'll cause like identity crises, okay? It'll cause like a mental breakdown. That's what it'll do. If it proceeds, like, I don't know, man. It's as if you're ungrateful for your own life, your own story, your own path, when it could be just as amazing as this person's if you choose differently. If you choose to love self and work on that connection. And not only are you ungrateful for your own path, but it's like you're making a mockery out of this person's story just by like acting as if it's yours. Like that is it's special, okay, because it's my story, okay? And if I'm speaking on something that I know and how I got through it, it could be different than the next person who had been through narcissistic abuse, and the next person and the next person. Okay? So when you're saying the exact same story as mine, they're like, that's just word for word, event for event. Like, what? And then people are able to ask me how and why. I will be able to go into detail and articulate what I thought in that moment, what the surroundings were, the objective, okay, the circumstances. And then when people ask you why, you just say something that's on your mind, something that you heard before as a response to anything, right? It's like you can articulate because it wasn't yours, okay? And the reason that is wrong is because you are giving advice, you are giving advice that you're not knowledgeable about, right? It's manipulation. And it's wrong. Okay, you could lead people down the wrong path for a very long time. What if they never get right? Because of the information that you gave them that was false. Because what you suggested that they could do, or better yet, pressured them to do. Okay? Because like as healers, we can suggest things, but ultimately we know that other people, they have their free will. Okay, if they're going to choose that, they're going to choose that. Okay, we can suggest things, but they got to choose that on their own. They've got to learn that on their own. They've got to learn how to put their foot down on their own. They got to learn how to choose themselves on their own. They got to learn how to turn to God when in crises on their own. Or they're never going to get it, right? Genuinely. Be on that right path. I don't know, I've been in some pretty crazy situations, but I feel like I went through that, right? I went through those types of stages in order to get like other people to know that even if you do drugs and alcohol or you anything, right? Anything, God will still love you, okay? You can still be a great person and more tolerant as well, right? Like, I know that I would be able to be around anyone, okay? And genuinely have respect for them. Be able to have a conversation with anyone, okay? Where others would put some sort of judgment upon someone. I would never do that because I was that, right? Really out, gone, done, okay? Dying, like death. I look like death because of poor coping mechanisms. Because I chose to be around people that showed me absolutely no respect. Okay, they disregarded me. In any way that they could, like extremely abused. So it's just not worth it, okay? And it's way easier to just be yourself. Start choosing better so that you can like genuinely own your story. I started reading tarot because everybody around me was lying to me and I was being set up and all this stuff, okay? I was homeless and convinced my grandma to allow me to live with her, okay? Because I wasn't allowed in Alberta. And she said yes, okay? And I had gotten a tarot deck by a lady who gave me like a Reiki treatment, okay? It was the Lord of the Rings tarot. So that was my first deck. I like framed the cardboard of it and it's on my bedroom wall, but like that is so cool. Right? I wouldn't think like if I were to have any deck, I wouldn't think to get the Lord of the Rings deck, okay? I've never even watched it, okay? Maybe I should. But it was a gift. It was gifted to me, right? And I studied those cards. I studied them day in and day out. Okay? I made a little cheat sheet like this. I'll show you. I make one for every tarot deck I get just so that I want to be really like well-rounded. So I'll put like the majors, right? I'll put the majors. See? The Fool. And then I'll put what I like, just one word so I can fit a lot of them on one line. And then the next line is like the Magician and then just one word, like, you know? And that's how I did it. That's how I studied these. Okay? I would like pick up one card and then I would think without even like knowing this yet. This wasn't even in my mind yet. And then I'd think of what this maybe mean. And then I go look what it was and I'd be way off. Like that's not it, right? But like just like messing around with it. Every day I do one where I'd be like, okay, this is the Four of Cups. Okay, what do I need to know about the Four of Cups? So it's a cup, right? And then just like really think about it and then write it down, okay? And then everything would be about the Four of Cups that day. The next day, I'd pick one more, right? And just study it like that, like, and then pretty soon I didn't need this anymore because I remembered what all these meant, Okay? And then from there, I would know what two of them meant together, or at least what I felt it meant, right? Like this would be like having you miss out on opportunities just in order to come and like take them for themselves. Okay, this was their mind game. This is where their head was at, because they were unsatisfied with what they were getting in life. Okay, because they choose worse for themselves. Okay, and you choose better for yourself. They said that you were untrustworthy, that you're a snake, so that you miss out on opportunities that they could come in and steal them. Like, and now it's not just this means this, and you know, it's not strict to the meanings anymore, because as I got better, I am able to like actually feel and like implement my own intuitive feelings, downloads into the cards. Okay, so it's like you just gotta learn it. Okay, and then I don't know, somebody needs to work on their intuition. Okay, like if you're gonna say that you know it, just learn it. Okay, and then you can really say that you know it. I don't know all there is to know, right? With tarot, I just started 5 years ago. It's not that long, but I mean, I've been like doing it every day for 5 years. But it's not every day either, right? Like I'll have to take a break and then I'll just write. I'll have to take a break and I can't even write sometimes. I'm just mentally spent. I can't even, and then that in itself, having a rest period is still work, right? Knowing when your body needs a rest, knowing when your mind needs a rest. Okay? It's like just really listening to what your body needs, what your mind needs, where you're at. Where am I at today? Where am I at? Am I happy? Am I sad? Right? Am I up in spirits? Am I down in spirits? Where's my mind at throughout the day? Okay, like what do I need to do in order to balance myself in my mind, my body, inside, right? Like, do I need to go easier on myself because I'm going through heartache and sorrow, right? Do I need to, I don't know, man, someone needs to listen to themselves. They're just going way too hard for something that ends up being worthless in the end. Someone's trying to get the respect of being a teacher, and it's not